I want to get the temperature of the room with people because Pro Football Focus is a lot like the Detroit Tigers to me. Okay. I guess it depends on
your narrative.
Your narrative, what you want, what your argument is, what your beliefs are, deep down, what you want to manifest. I think Pro Football Focus, and this just popped in my head. I think this is pretty good comp. Pro Football Focus and the Detroit Tigers are very, very similar. And Pro Football Focus ranked the wide receiving cores of the NFL. Care to venture a guess? We're just 30,000 foot, no rosters in front of you, anything like that. Just the vibe, just the feel you get. Where would you put them?
So, Jameson Williams, even though he's suspended, he's part of the roster.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Marvin Jones, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. How many teams? 32 teams?
Yep.
16th.
So midway. I would agree with that. I think you can make a case for being higher. They have a star in Amon-Ra St. Brown. I won't kill you. I won't kill anybody that says, hey, middle of the pack. I'm cool with that. 100%.
Yeah,
you can make a case for that.
Even in saying you don't know what you have with Jameson Williams. So that's a detriment. So still I consider it right around there.
Sure.
Viable, durable. You got a possession guy. You got guys that have proven it, guys that have played with Jared Goff. So, yeah, right in the middle.
Middle of the road. That's fair. I can't kill you on that. I would have him a tick higher than that, but that's semantics at this point. I believe Amon-Ra St. Brown is the next great receiver in the game of football. Ransom says, I would personally say 9th. Pro Football Focus has been off lately. Well, Spenmo, how about this? They are ranked the 23rd receiving core in the National Football League. Amon-Ra St. Brown took a step into the elite category, earning a 90.4 receiving grade last season. They moved on from Hawkinson in the middle of the year, but they have Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds. They added Sam Laporta, who's sure to be a decent part of their passing game. 23 is harsh.
So yeah. I mean, again, this is just a PFF because I'd have to look and see the argument to the teams ahead of them, right? You take Hawkinson out. We saw the way that we use the tight ends and we use it by committee, right? So the fact that Sam Laporta, I think that sort of upgrades you to viable. I mean, like that just but isn't with PFF you take that with a grain of salt and you just sort of say,
that depends on your argument.
That's what I'm saying. You take it to a grain of salt to not even with your argument, but this is ridiculous. You know what it's like? It's like Dave Meltzer's star ratings in wrestling. 5-star matches and whatever like this, and how there's an argument because it's objective, Neil. My big thing is, okay, if I'm 23rd, why are the other teams ahead of me? Why from 16 to 23? What are the seven or 8 teams in the middle there that make them better than I? Because I don't see it.
Right.
And what messed with me is they mentioned Sam Laporta in that. They mentioned rookies in other, team scouting reports, whether it be Addison or Quentin Johnston or stuff like that. They didn't mention Jahmyr Gibbs or Jameson Williams at all in the Lions report.
Which is interesting. You know who else he didn't mention? Your mom's favorite skater. TK85 puts him in the top 10 alone.
That's fair.
Sorry, Sam Flannel.
No, that's the if you put TK85 in there, you would probably rank him below 25. So that's
blasphemous. But D-Mac.
So to Spenny's point, right? So you have to, and I think maybe we've all become, we're not outraged by it as much, so we understand, we take it for what it is, and they don't take in all the facts. They don't take in all the facts that, Jahmyr Gibbs is probably be, how they're going to use him like they used DeAndre Swift out of the backfield, which is part of the passing game, right? So they absolutely obliterate any of that, especially when you draft the first draft pick that you draft is a running back that is more or less used out of the backfield in space. So to me, it just goes, that's PFF being PFF again, and just Detroit Lions SOL.
Well, earlier, a couple minutes ago, D-Mac, you said, well, I wonder who's ranked above them. I'm glad you asked that, D-Mac, because one really caught my eye.
Oh.
One wide receiving core. And this, there's 2 angles to this for me. Checking in at number 13 would be America's new team, the Chicago Bears, who say last year they were 32 of 32, but it's a new look group. Since the beginning of last season, they've added DJ Moore, Chase Claypool to run with, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet's coming off back-to-back solid seasons with an increase in Justin Fields' passing efficiency. This group could thrive.
That's a great team to bring up, Neil, because you're a Justin Fields simp. You believe
I believe he's better than people think he is. So
right then and there, what PFF is telling you is that with this receiving core, that was the reason Justin Fields was not. You still got to get the guy the ball, right? So what we'll see this year is if the Chicago Bears, if it is receivers, because that's a good receiving core, right? I don't know if I like them better than ours. I think I take ours.
Let alone 10 spots better. It's not 10 spots better, but. Whatever. I don't want to push the easy button and say, oh, the Lions are being disrespected. I have a different angle of attack on this. The whole PFF phenomenon. I've never seen anything like this. And I guess our society is this way now. Like, we've become this way for whatever reason. The PFF thing, and now everyone in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, it's like, well, PFF, take it with a grain of salt. We've said it. I've said it. But remember, Sam Flannel, I'll bring you into the fold because it's your guy. Remember last year when we were talking about Aiden Hutchinson?
Yeah.
What a lightning rod of discussion that was. I saw the same people would tell you, well, PFF has him number 1 in double team ranked. Mm-hmm. And then that exact same person, if PFF came out with a negative grade, would say, well, he got chip block a couple times. I don't know if PFF counts that as a double team and all that kind of stuff. What is it about PFF, D-Mac?
No, what because the rules change. There's no line. It's always rotating. You know what I'm saying? It's always moving to fit whatever narrative. And like you look at it just to see what's going on. But what do we always say about PFF? What do they usually do the best? Isn't it when they're ranking linemen? Mm-hmm. Right?
Defensive
when they're
linemen,
ranking linemen or
linemen.
whatever, the consistency. That's about the agreed. But it's the narrative because it changes.
And speaking of that, we're seeing this already. And look, we've had these discussions. You guys know where I stand with it. I'm a bigger believer in Justin Fields than many of the regular, Detroit sports fans that are out there. Because if it all breaks down, you cannot deny he's a dynamic athlete.
Yeah.
Dynamic athlete, if it all breaks down. And there's a place for that. You can win an MVP in this league. With
he
that
got an MVP
set.
vote last year.
He got an MVP vote last year, which was pretty comical.
Isn't the comparable for Fields Lamar?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. A dynamic athlete. I celebrate him a little more than most do. But again, whatever. Your flavor. If you're not about it, you're not about it. I'm not going to kill you on that. But we're already seeing this too. They have drawn their line in the sand for Justin Fields. The national media, I'm warning everybody here as we get ready to embark on this season. We're all going to do our little summer things, and then when everybody reconvenes here at the end of July, we're going in.
This is a Neil Rule flashing yellow warning.
Be prepared for this. You can already see it. The national football media is Justin Fields is next, everybody. To the national media, Justin Fields is next. Get comfortable with it, Spenny. You're seeing it. D-Mac, get comfortable with it, man.
I am.
For me, I'm with you, Neil. I like Justin Fields a little more than most Detroit fans. And I'm high on the Bears receiving core. I like DJ Moore a lot.
I do too.
I like Darnell Mooney a lot.
I do not like Chase Claypool a lot.
Chase Claypool, as your third wide receiver isn't bad. But we looked at the stats yesterday on heavyweights. And, Chase Claypool was with Darnell Mooney out and Dante Pettis and whoever the hell they had else catching balls, the number 1 receiver for the Bears last year was Chase Claypool for the majority of the season. And he had on more targets and more catches, less yards and touchdowns than Josh Reynolds, who is the third receiver for the Lions.
Well, it just tells you Justin Fields sucks.
Yeah.
That's what that tells me.
It doesn't help that their offensive line was garbage.
Yeah. But just, everybody get ready for it. That if we walk away from this conversation with 2 things. Number 1, Pro Football Focus is like the new politics of the NFL. Craft it however way you want to make it fit your narrative and what you believe. And then number 2, they are preparing you. They're preparing us. Justin Fields is the next chosen one, everybody. And we should have saw it last year when he got an MVP vote from somebody.
That was probably Adam Rank.